Hey guys, so today's video I'll continue some of the things we were talking about. I was teaching Greek modes last class, and today I'm gonna show you how to pick the scales that I showed the Greek modes and turn them into chords so that you know how to build chords. But before, like the video at the beginning. If you want to, you can take the like out later, but give me that hope at the beginning. Subscribe because I'll be posting videos weekly on Saturdays, and let's get into it. So last week I showed you Greek modes, and I showed you the Greek modes starting from the simplest one, which is C major right here, right? And that's the C major Ionian Greek mode. By the way, if you didn't watch this class, it's very important because it's a prerequisite. And it's gonna be highly useful because then you can build chords and do almost anything on the guitar. So check that video out. That will be on the cards. But we started from C, right? Then we built to all the other Greek modes: D, E, F, and so on. Now, how do we build the chords? And why am I talking about Greek modes in a chords video? That's the question. Because the chords, they are built from the natural scales, right? And all its derivatives, which are the Greek modes. And let us start by the C major chord, which is the simplest one and the most well-known, especially on the guitar. And how does the process of building the chord happen? So we pick the scale, first of all, in this case C major. If you remember correctly how to do it, that's the shape that I'm using. It'll probably be there on the tabs, but most likely most tabs they'll show you this shape, which is similar, but you know, maybe it's easier to play because you don't need to stretch the fingers that much. But where do the chords come from? I'm going to teach you the main ones. That's gonna solve like 95% of your problems. That's the C. So starting from the first note, it's C, and then if you remember correctly, we have D, and then E. We are going to build the chords based on a concept of triads, which, well, you're gonna use 3 notes that are essential for the chord to exist. 2 of them are hyper essential. The first one, well, for C, you follow a certain pattern to find out what chord it's going to be. The pattern is you play the first note, which is the tonic. It needs to be there to identify the chord. Then we skip D and we go to E, and that's E is the third in relationship to C. And if you play them with E right here at the 2nd fret, 4th string, then that's what you find out. That's an interval, by the way, which is a basic concept. Interval is the distance between 2 notes. We can call it that's a third. That's a major chord interval. Basically, that's when you have a major chord, you have that interval, and you could play only those 2. That'd be enough, right? Those are the absolute essential ones. But you wrap it up with 1 extra essential note, following the same pattern. You have played E, you skip the next note, which is F, and you go to G, right? So you only play every other note. So C, E, and then G. You've completed a major chord. You've done it in an arpeggio way. You've played it note by note. Well, beforehand, the G is on 5th fret and 4th string. The fundamental thing that identifies it as C is that you have the tonic and you have the 3rd. In this case, a major 3rd, because of the scale of C. The 3rd has that spacement of a major 3rd. If it were, right here, then it would be minor 3rd. And that's basically how you build a C major chord. Got the tonic, 3rd, and the 5th. But what is the main way of building that chord. What's the main shape we use? Is the classic one, maybe the first one people learn on the guitar, which is this shape, and I'll show you on the tabs. But 3rd fret, 5th string, and then 2nd fret, 4th string, 1st fret, 1st fret, 2nd string. And if you play with the fingers here, you only play the strings that are from the 5th downwards until the 1st string. You don't play the thickest one, the 6th string. Extrapolate that to all the other notes of the scale and build the rest of the chords in C major. So in C major specifically, the next note is D, and we do the same pattern to build it. The shape of this Greek mode goes like this. I bet it's different on the tabs because there's many ways to play it, right? There are many shapes. But one thing is certain: what will be the notes? The first one D, then the 3rd will be F. No matter where you play it, you could play F here, but it's still F. So you got D, then you got F. It happens to be minor 3rd because of the shape of this Greek mode. You play the first note, skip the 2nd, go to the 3rd. That's what the 3rd is in the Dorian mode, right? It's a minor 3rd. And then the 5th. The 5th is always on the same position. It is like this. It's always like wherever you're pressing, go 1 string downwards, 1, 2, 2 half tones, meaning a full tone up, and then that's it. Which is the rock position, right? Use a lot in rock. So if we actually build that D chord, it has a minor 3rd, and that's what's gonna give flavor to it. And then we'll call that minor D chord just because it has a minor 3rd. Then it's a D chord, but it's D minor. And I'll play it, the 3rd, I'll play it here. 3rd fret and 4th string. And wrap it up with the 5th. So I could do note by note. I could just give an arpeggio intention to it, or I could build the usual shape. And the usual shape for D, in this case we have D minor, the most used is this shape. Right? You got the shape in there, because there's a lot of shapes now that you've understood how to do the scale, and then stack the chords, picking specific notes of the scale, and then you just see the tabs. Then I'll just show the tabs later, slow the video down, pause, practice many times, it's like strum it once, and then take the fingers out, and then try and do the shape, in 1 second, like do it many times until you get used to it. You play C, then you go to D, and C again. So we've learned C, D, that's a D minor. Now the next note from which we'll be building its chord, it's E. Same idea. Here's E, here's a 3rd, minor 3rd, and a 5th. And the chord is, you got the tabs, all the strings, okay? Meanwhile, D, it was from the 4th string downwards. Now we have E from the 6th string downwards. Next chord F, here's the most usual shape. And then G, let's play G here. You see there's not many patterns from what we are doing, at least. It's always tonic, either major or minor 3rd to characterize the chord, and then wrap it up with a 5th, right? And here's the G major. If you look closely, all the chords that I've played, including this one, you're only playing 3 notes, the 3 notes of the chord. Only 3 notes, and the 6 strings are just to fill the chord, you know, with more notes to make it more like harmonic, let's say. And that's G. Now we go to A. Tonic, minor third, and fifth. Minor chord, minor A. That's the shape you got on the tabs. And the last one, which is a weird one, it is the Locrian mode. This is the only weird one on the scale, because if you stack it, the first note is a tonic, the second it's a minor third, which is okay, then you might say it's a minor chord, but then if you go to the next note, what the hell is that? It's not a fifth, right? Fifth would be here. It is a diminished fifth. It's all a matter of point of reference. It could be called a diminished fifth, or it's a fourth, but it's an augmented fourth. Whatever. Hey, that's a tritone. The way it's most well known. It's the worst sounding ever, but it's also essential for transitions in the songs. Well, that's called a diminished chord, just like the diminished fifth. Since we're only dealing with the 3 main notes of the chord, then we're gonna have this shape, which is very weird. But all you're gonna do, you're gonna press all the strings on the 2nd fret except the 6th, right? But then you put your 2nd finger on 3rd fret, 4th string, the 3rd finger on 3rd fret, 2nd string, and then the 4th finger you put on the 4th fret, 3rd string. Now you only play the central strings. You don't count the 1st nor the 6th string, only the 4 strings on the middle, right? And it's because of that interval, which is the main interval of tension, the diminished fifth, it's going to sound, I don't know, bothersome, but it's very important, right? You got the C major scale, maybe this shape. You stack every other note, then you build the chords. They always have a tonic, major or minor third, except the last one, then a fifth usually, but the last one doesn't have a fifth. And that's how you build the chords. And just as a practice, practice changing from one chord to the other, because you need to get used to those shapes so that you can change chords, because that's usually what makes up a song. And that's it for today. So if you've liked, don't forget to leave the like, subscribe, because again, I'm doing videos weekly and I'm optimistic about it. If you want to watch the videos that have been already produced, look at the cards, look at the description, look at the comments. There's a lot of interesting stuff already on the channel. Modes, Greek modes, scales, arpeggios, guitar solos, and a lot.